The delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league. And
Geno Auriemma once referred to Caitlin Clark's supporters as overly optimistic. Now, those same supporters are witnessing her excel in the WNBA, shatter 62 records, claim Rookie of the Year honors, and become the first rookie in 16 years to be named to the All-WNBA first team. And the surprising part, it's no longer just the fans who are cheering her on.
There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name. Okay, so the kid was set up for failure right from the...
Stephanie White, the new head coach of the Indiana Fever, recently spoke out, offering a perspective on Caitlin Clark that's in stark contrast to Geno Auriemma's criticisms. Her view of Clark paints a picture so different from Auriemma's that it may leave you questioning if they're talking about the same player. In this video, we'll also dive into the key offseason goals that Coach White and Caitlin are focusing on to dominate next season. It's clear that Geno's remarks haven't aged well. Curious about what Coach White said that's creating a buzz?
If you're a WNBA player, and believe me, I've coached the best, and I've pissed them off a lot, and they let me know about it. But they were tremendously disrespected. And none of them are going to say it. But human nature is, okay, this kid's coming into the league.
Imagine this, June 2024, Geno Auriemma, the iconic coach of UConn, stirs the pot with a bold statement about Caitlin Clark, sending shockwaves through the basketball community. Auriemma, never one to mince words, doesn't hold back. He asserts that Clark isn't suited for the WNBA's demanding physicality. His remarks land with force, reverberating across the entire sports landscape.
This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league, and she's a rookie.
Is the legendary women's college basketball coach on the mark, or has he overlooked something the rest of the world sees? The air is thick with anticipation. Fans, analysts, and players alike are waiting to see what happens next. Then, something extraordinary unfolds. Game after game, Caitlin Clark shatters expectations, proving Auriemma wrong. Her assists pile up like towering peaks, and her shots hit the mark with deadly accuracy. The world watches, stunned, as this rookie, who was deemed unfit for the league, begins to rewrite the record books. With each game, the pressure mounts. How far can Clark go? Can she maintain this momentum? The critics grow silent, while the supporters grow louder. Clark isn't just playing well, she's dominating the game.
There's a difference between great players and phenomenons. No one ever said Caitlin Clark wasn't... no one ever said there weren't ever great players before Caitlin Clark. There was never phenomenons, not in my lifetime, with women's basketball. And I went to UConn. So I've seen plenty of great players, but nobody's ever moved the needle in my lifetime like this.
As the season progresses, it becomes clear Alma's words have aged like milk left out in the sun. Clark doesn't just break a record or two, she smashes 62 WNBA records in a rookie season. 62. It's a number that seems almost unreal, but it's true, and it's spectacular. And Diana said it best, this kid's in for a rude awakening. Remember what Auriemma said about Clark's fans being delusional? Well, those same fans are now watching her dominate the WNBA and break records left and right. It's not delusion anymore, reality came. And her name is Caitlin Clark, but this story is just getting started. Enter Stephanie White, the Fever's new head coach. She's about to add a whole new chapter to Clark's already incredible journey. White's not just impressed by Clark's performance, she's got a vision, a plan to take Clark's game to even greater heights. Clark didn't just prove she belongs in the league, she proved she can dominate it. So are you ready to hear what Stephanie White has to say about Caitlin Clark? Trust me, it's going to make Auriemma comments look even colder than before.
Anna said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening.
Remember when they said Caitlin Clark couldn't handle the WNBA? Well, Stephanie White isn't just proving those critics wrong, she's rewriting the playbook. So how does a coach take a record-breaking rookie and elevate her even further? White's approach might just surprise you. Stepping up to the microphone, White commands the attention of the basketball world. She's not just discussing victories and defeats, she's outlining a bold, ambitious vision for the Fever's future. Her focus: unlocking every ounce of Caitlin Clark's untapped potential.
She's a great player. She's a high IQ player. She adjusted really quickly to this league. Unbelievably quick to this league. And now it's about becoming not just a great player, but becoming a great leader for this team so that we can win not just a championship, but championships. And what does that look like?
Stephanie White's vision for Caitlin Clark and the Fever in 2025 goes far beyond breaking more records. It's about completely reshaping the way basketball is played. She drops a game-changing revelation that has everyone buzzing. We want to make plays, not run plays. It's a straightforward line, yet it's groundbreaking. This isn't your traditional old-school basketball strategy. White is empowering her players with the freedom to innovate within a structured system. It stands in stark contrast to the rigid, formulaic approach of coaches like Auriemma. offering a fresh and dynamic perspective on how the game can be played.
So want our players to use their instincts and to play free. You know, we want to make plays, not run plays, right? We want to have sets that give us certain spacing that we want, depending upon our rotations, who's on the floor, who we want to attack, what matchups we want to get to, how can we manipulate them. So we'll have certain play calls that just give us space to operate. And then whichever play we make, whichever pass we make determines, one of three actions that our players can read from. And so really giving them the freedom to play within a system.
Throughout her career, White has emphasized a philosophy of flexibility in decision-making. She explains, "We'll have certain play calls that create space for us to operate, but after that, it's up to the players. The pass they make will dictate one of three potential actions that they can read from." It's a system built on trust and creativity, where players aren't just following a set of instructions, they're actively interpreting the flow of the game and adapting in real time. This approach gives the team a sense of freedom while maintaining the structure necessary to succeed.
Now, if Caitlin Clark played for Geno, would he let her shoot logo threes?
Should I answer that?
Go ahead.
Hell no.
Okay.
Like, he didn't even let us dribble. Like, not the high pass. We were playing triangle, pass, screen away, pinch post.
I bet we came off five pick and rolls our whole.
But how will this new approach affect Clark's game? The anticipation is high. Clark has already proven she can dominate in a traditional system, but with this freedom, what's next? White isn't just focusing on plays, she's discussing basketball with Clark, about the game as a whole, not just FIBA basketball. This could unlock new heights for Clark's.
Not one of those coaches that is going to be set in her ways. Not one of those coaches that that isn't, I'm willing to try new things.
This open communication is central to White's strategy. She's not just telling Clark what to do. She's listening, learning, and collaborating. White shares, "I talked to her about how we can use her to help her be more efficient and effective, ultimately making the team better." White's coaching approach isn't just about making Clark a great player, it's about shaping her into a great leader. She's fostering Clark's high basketball IQ and helping her see the game from fresh perspectives. White's confidence in Clark is evident. She's a great player, a high IQ player, and she's adjusted quickly to this league.
What's your approach when you're coaching greatness like that?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, just talking basketball, right? Just having general basketball conversations. About what she's watching, what she likes, what are some of the things what are some of her thoughts from, not just what the Indiana Fever have done, but from the game of basketball in general.
I've never seen in the NBA a player that can throw the ball ahead on the break better than her. Or him, anyone. I had Isaiah, I had Hall of Fame point guard, never anyone better than her. I also think that, like a lot of my great point guards, Hall of Famers, she could play off the ball so well because she knows how to move without the ball, and it wouldn't tire.
I started watching Caitlin Clark when she was in the 8th grade when I was at Vanderbilt.
How about that?
And then I called a lot of her games in college when she was at Iowa. And so I've really watched her continue to learn and grow, and I have great relationships with her college coaches and had multiple conversations with them throughout the course of her career about what the next steps would be, right? And what the next level. And this is the way that we're going to do it, but really adapting and blending some of what we wanted to do or thought we could do with what they had already done that's been very successful.
If you guys saw this workout has gotten a lot of people excited for Caitlin Clark because she is like directly working on her weaknesses, which I think is a good look. Honestly, I think that's a really, really good look for her because, again, when we're seeing somebody working on their weaknesses and not the glamorous weaknesses.